Regarding the licensing of pedicabs, what safeguards are in place for the taxi industry? It is conceivable that the licensing of pedicabs as a standalone service could have a negative impact on London's taxi trade and, importantly, members of the community who require a fully equipped wheelchair accessible vehicle. Over the years, we have seen a significant decline in the number of taxi drivers entering the taxi market, and for the most part, this is due to an asymmetric regulatory system that has allowed for the proliferation of over 100,000 private hire drivers to enter the scene, and the consequences of which have resulted in the reduced availability of taxis and longer waiting times for individuals who might struggle to use other transport modes. And therefore, what contingencies are being considered to ensure that we do not worsen the issue of decline with another newly licensed service? And to compound on this problem, taxis are increasingly being relegated to fewer roads due to the ongoing reprioritisation of road space schemes such as bus gates on Tottenham Court Road, Bishopsgate and Stoke Newington Church Street, and the ever-increasing number of low-traffic neighbourhoods. And there is also widespread concern that pedicabs will be allowed to operate on streets where taxis are now being prohibited. And this cannot be overlooked, as it is already creating barriers to mobility for individuals with disabilities, undermining their independence and access to what they consider to be an essential service. Crucially, if pedicabs are licensed to ply for hire, will they be the only public transportation option that does not accommodate individuals with certain disabilities? And if that is the case, it represents a significant step backward that warrants careful consideration, especially if they are acting as a replacement service on roads where taxis are being excluded. Additional to all of that, there are concerns that the proposed regulations may open the floodgates to big tech companies to enter the market with little consideration for the detrimental impact on the taxi trade. And this situation is reminiscent of the drafting of private hire legislation, where MPs emphasised that private hire services should not encroach on the stringently regulated taxi sector, but when it came to it, failed to formalise this principle in law. And if we take on board that there will inevitably be industry detractors advocating for unrestricted pedicab operation, some of them even receiving substantial public funding, it is essential that TfL, as a licensing authority, carefully evaluates the broader implications. Regulating pedicabs as a standalone service without taking competing factors into account could jeopardise a valuable transportation option that is designed to cater for everyone's needs. In closing, the question for TfL is, how will you ensure that the regulations are designed in a way that doesn't undermine London's taxi service, which may, as a consequence, result in a further decline of an inclusive, accessible transport option?